Preamble. It did not begin with the forging of the great rings, nor did it end with the destruction of the one ring that ruled them all. Long before the rings of power, and before even their begetter Sauron the Abhorrent, there was another, greater by far, both in evil and in power, than either ring or creator. One whose return was prophesied, and whose malice, it was foretold, would bring an end to the world and all the races that lived therein. Melkor was his name, cursed of all the free folk, bane of the gods, fallen angel, frustrator of plans, destroyer of life. Morgoth. It is true to say that the world changed after the years of the rings. The elves left for the Undying Lands, taking with them their songs and their music and their beauty. The dwarfs, forsaking the light of the sun and the company of men, returned to the dark and deep places beneath the earth where they were wont to delve, digging out their great halls and galleries and passageways, passing from common memory as if they had never been. And then there were the Istari. The Istari, born of the Maiar of old, emissaries of Manwë, wizard servants of Eru Ilúvatar. After the fall of Sauron, their mission complete, their purposes fulfilled, they left Middle-earth, never again to be seen amongst the races of Arda, and they took with them their magic, of course, and their knowledge and their wisdom. And so Middle-earth was gifted to those races that remained in the years of peace and prosperity that followed after the Wars of the Rings, remnants of those earlier times. Orcs could be found still, solitary and wanton, wandering aimlessly throughout the land, causing mischief and misdoings, though for the most part they spent their time searching out the dark and hidden places, away from the sun and those prying eyes that accompanied it. Then there were the hobbits of Eriador, the homely, leisure-loving race of halflings who had long inhabited that quiet, fertile corner of Middle-earth called the Shire, and those lands 100 or so miles roundabouts, still trying as best they could to learn the details of everyone else's business, whilst doing their best to avoid being dragged into it. And last of all, there was man, the greatest of Eru's creations, and yet the most corrupt and ignoble, capable of the highest order of thought and deed, and also the lowest and most base. All other races paled in dominion when compared to man, for he was Eru's most complicated and contradictory enigma. And so the tribes and various races of man prospered and thrived in Middle-earth, like a vine sending down their roots into even the most inhospitable of places, creeping and spreading throughout all the lands, smothering all life that lay in their path or fell in their way. Time and tide rolled unceasingly on, generations came and went, great cities and even greater civilizations rose and fell, and the prophecies of old waxed ever fainter in the minds of men. Still, a remnant of the old knowledge remained, penned in ancient tongues upon ancient parchments, runes and symbols inked in secret histories, buried in dusty archives and hidden away in long-forgotten libraries. And the seed of this knowledge, planted in the inquisitive and fertile minds of a very few, germinated and grew still, a spark of vital knowledge. And in those last days, seeing the signs all about them, minds turned once more to those ancient prophecies. Yes, Middle-earth changed in the centuries after the Wars of the Rings. Some would claim for the better, some believe forever. Both would have been wrong. For once the germ of evil is established, it is not easily eradicated. It is stubborn and determined, clinging like a disease or an infection, and like all infections, evil is prone to return when least expected or looked for.